I see you, Traveler. You're the one Ford's been waiting for. Though, he doesn't know he's been waiting. He thinks, you know, I'm Wallace. Did I say that yet? You have a path.
There we go. Let's not press that fucking button again. Can I somehow see the specs of the actual class without choosing it accidentally? I just have to look at what it's... Okay, so here we can see that we have a... That's a bolt-action sniper rifle on the first. Okay, got it. Oh, let's continue reading. Detroit's Hunter can extend the duration of their active skills by dealing ranged weak spot damage. Hunter's Mark increases the Hunter's spatial awareness by casting an aura that automatically applies Mark to all enemies within 35 meters. I mean, that was just a normal weapon mod in the previous game. While senses are heightened, Hunter also gains 15% increased ranged and melee damage last 25 seconds. Cooldown 70 seconds. Mark crit chance against marked enemies is increased by 10% for all allies. Continuously aiming down sight uninterrupted and without shooting for 0.5 seconds causes the hunter to enter focus state. Wears off after 0.75 seconds of leaving aim. Lasts 25 seconds. What now? Focused. Reduces weapon spread, recoil and sway by 50% and grants 25% ranged and range weak spot damage, while focused aiming at enemies will apply Mark. Just aiming at enemies? Huh. Not even shooting at them, just aiming, like holding the reticle on them. Mark. Crit chance against marked enemies is increased by 10% for all allies. Hunter's Shroud, archetype skill. Hunter becomes shrouded, reducing enemy awareness and making them harder to hit while moving. Attacking or activating mode or skill with instantly or will instantly exit Shroud. Harder to also hit while moving, huh? Exiting Shroud applies Mark to all enemies within 10 meters and grants Ambush to the Hunter for 2 seconds. Ambush increases ranged and melee damage by 50%, which diminishes over its duration. Ranged and melee attacks apply Mark in that state. So the ambush is only for 2 seconds after this, by the way. Hunter will automatically shroud again after 1.15 seconds with no offense actions are performed. Or if no offense action... Wait, what? Wait. Mark. Crit chance against marked enemies is increased by 10%. I mean, that's just the normal passive. Okay. So, are these are like skills that are tied to the archetypes. So, in the previous game, like, the only thing that was actually tied to the archetype was your starting traits. You had one specific trait that was different for the starting class you chose, that you can also obtain normally by just playing the game, you know, later, but you would start with, you know, one particular, like, thing, or one single trait that you would not start with on another class as a bonus. And then the other thing was the starting weapons and the starting armor was different between the classes. But other than that, you could, like, optimize yourself into, like, anything. You could be everything. Kind of like, you know, how you can be everything in some MMO like RuneScape, for example, where you don't have to specialize into anything. You can be every, you know, every class at the same time. Not sure if I like this. It gives less opportunities, but I guess more replay value because, you know, different classes, I guess. Close range, durable, hard to kill, challenger. Close range combat, heightened survivability. Die hard. Lovely. Upon taking fatal damage, the challenger brushes off death and returns to... What the fuck? Or stomp. Create a high impact tremor that deals 150 damage and additional stagger in a forward cone up to 7.5 meters. Deals damage in all directions at point blank range. Juggernaut. Become nearly unstoppable, gaining 3 stacks of bulwark, 15% movement, melee speed, and reduction stamina cost, or reduced stamina cost. Increases melee damage by 50%. Stagger level reduced by 1, last 25 seconds. Wait, what? Stagger level reduced by 1. Is that a good or a bad thing here? Because that's worded kind of weirdly. Enters a heightened state of battle, which increases fire rate by 10%, reload speed by 25%, and movement speed by 15%, last 10 seconds. Kills and dealing significant damage grant 1 stack of rage, which increases range damage by 2.5% per stack. Upon reaching 10 stacks, the challenger goes berserk, which reloads their current firearm and doubles rampage effects for 15 seconds. Okay. That is definitely not bad. Handler. I already read like some of these. What is the fucking starting weapon? It's a very unusual like starting weapon on a medic, by the way, shall I say. So, what do I choose the starting class by? I'm gonna ignore maybe the weapons that they start with. I'm just gonna look at the skills and the prime perk. I think that's what I'm gonna base this choice on. I have no idea how the fuck this is gonna feel like to use. Dude, I'm not a fan of any of these starting classes. I think each and every one of them, besides the handler one, they are too extreme. I think that's a good way to put it. Also, I haven't really discovered what's the best point to have the webcam yet. I'm gonna do that very next thing after I leave the discussion with Wallace. I should have done that earlier. Oops. Where the UI elements in this game more like to be. The minimap is still on the top right, so like, well, I guess there, top right, mirrored. But yeah, all of these, like, they are too extreme. Maybe. Rarely charges by healing themselves and allies. Dude, I don't know. I really don't know. Can I mix? Like, if I was able to mix and match the perks and the skills, that would be nice. I don't know if you can, though. The game doesn't tell you that you can or can't. Like, I like the skills the most on the Challenger. The Challenger's skills are the best. But his Prime perk is not the best. I think that the Prime perk I like maybe the most of Hunter. I like Hunter's Prime perk the most, but I like Challenger skills the most. So what the hell do I do? Whatever. The big thing here that I like a lot, by the way, movement speed. 15% movement speed, melee speed, reduce stamina cost. Same thing here. Like, you get movement speed, fire rate also goes up on this buff. I don't know. Let's go Challenger, fuck it.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense now. You're right, of course. Your path is waiting. Tell Brabus and McCabe I sent you. They have what you need.
So Brabus
They're
is
the next step on your
canonically
journey.
alive in
Goodbye,
this
traveler.
game story. You know, we actually have the opportunity to kill Brabus, unless it's, you know, not the same Brabus. And McCabe seems to still be with us, unfortunately. Is there an option to not have the helmets in cutscenes? That's actually something that I was looking in the previous game. I think there might be an option, actually. Now, there's show helmet option just here normally. But it doesn't say, like, you know, in cutscenes only. I don't know. Feel like it looks even more awkward when the helmet is off when you have this, like... Let's read some stuff here. Inspect. Right. That is a lot of fucking armor in this early of a game. That is a lot. Can I see my entire, like, stat spread right now? Oh, I can't by pressing R. So I have 140 armor this early on in the game just with this starting class. Shit. That is a lot. In the previous game, to obtain this much armor, you would have to, like, put quite a bit of points over the armor before you get to this far. 50% stamina cost penalty. Yeah, shit. Isn't that something? Where's actually the... You know what? Where's the cutoff here? What was the button pressing? F? Right, so F unequips it. Do I just have to icy so I can go like this? Got it. Also, it does not seem like there is any armor effect in this game. It's mainly for stats. It doesn't say that there is anyway. We are already on the medium by just putting this on? That's hard. What? Did I have a stamina cost penalty by just using the normal starting set? Yes, we did actually. We were like on medium already on that. Got it. Is there really no reason to use an entire set of something in this game like in the previous one? If that's the case, I'm just gonna optimize the armor to, like, maybe utilize like medium like weight or something. Looks kinda dumb though. Kara can't do it. Let's read the weaponry. Wait. I didn't get any weapons? Wait, so the weapon is not decided by the starting class. They were just wielding some weapon that you can just see them well, but doesn't actually mean anything. I'm still using my normal weapon set here. Unless I need to go to McCabe and... yeah, and they give me the weapon. Makes sense. Right, so how does that work? Challenger archetype. Die Hard Prime Perkman. When receiving fatal damage, the Challenger becomes invulnerable for 2 seconds and regenerates 50% of max health. While on cooldown, the Challenger gains 1 stack of Bulwark. Can only happen once every 10 minutes. Reset at Vault, Stone, or on death. Huh. So there's levels to these, huh? Next level, Strong Back. Increases dodge weight threshold by 3. Whatever that means. Close Quarters, damage perk. Grants 3.5% increase to all damage to enemies within 10 meters. Damage bonus tab tapers off until 20 meters. What? Right, so it gradually gets decreased until 20 meters, I guess. Oh. I see. Wait, why are these locked? Right, so we already allocated some stuff to Vigor. Plus 9 health increase, level 3. Endurance plus 6. Is the one for encumbrance or is it just a strong back thing? I still have 1 Tome of Knowledge, unless I can't use it on something. Mod Power Regen, that already is here again. Skill cooldown. Okay. Dude, the fucking TAA ghosting here, by the way. So bad. It's so egregious. Right, let's go to McCabe, and they probably are not up there, let's be honest.
I wonder what Miss Clementine would do.
How stable is the... oh, right, I have frame gen on, so it's kinda hard to say. It doesn't seem like this game has a lot of... That's Mudtooth, I think. It doesn't seem like this game has a lot of... Wait, who are you? Wait, that's... what the fuck was his name? That's Reggie. He looks so much goddamn older, what the fuck? Right. I need to get the... I'm gonna talk to Brabus first, because... Is this the same Brabus from the previous game? Like one of the scrappers that we killed?
Well, ain't
I have no
you
idea.
a right mudder?
Maybe.
Traipsing in here like you own
Oh
the
yeah,
place.
Mother is what they call this guy, huh?
Ha! I'm just pulling ya. Name's Brabus, and I run security around here. Well, seeing as you got the mayor's personal approval, I reckon you his problem now. I also make sure folks hereabouts can protect themselves. Ain't just the root kicking around. A lot of folks still ain't chummy with this whole rebuilding society business. I should know. Damn straight. A lot of folks only ever learn how to look out for themselves. They don't know any different. I used to be one of them. Up until about 20 years ago, I ran a pack called the Mud Dogs.
20 years ago?
Killed anyone
That's
who
how
crossed
long
us.
time has fucking passed,
The
like
dog-eat-dog
somewhere there.
world back then.
That
We all
explains
did
why
what we had
Wallace
to
looks
to
so much older
survive.
than
Things might be different now, but a lot of folks
Dang.
can't chew a path out of the old ways.
That's how long it has
Maybe
been.
never will.
Like 15 or 20 years. Yeah, that really explains as to why Wallace looks like he's approaching his 30s. And why Reginald or Reggie looks so much older. Like Reggie was maybe in his fucking 30s or like, I don't know, maybe his 40s somewhere there, but now he looks like he's in his 60s.
That boy what talks to the root? I don't trust Wally with a hot meal. But I also ain't dumb enough to cross him. I don't reckon he was any more specific. Right. Well, the boy's crazy, but he ain't stupid. And I can see your gear is, lacking, to say the least. If he asks, you tell him I gave you this. No charge. Riggs is gonna talk my ear off if I don't send you over to him next.
Bulldog! I got something else also.
Fine. Go see
Silverback
Riggs,
model
then.
500.
Tell him he can do whatever the hell he wants.
Iron Greatsword? Oh. That's something. Is there a hold attack when I'm stand? Yeah, there is, but it's very fast. Let's see the other weapons. Ideal range, 10 meters, fall of range, oh, it tells you the fall of range. That's something you had to just kind of guess in the previous game. Or just test. Max ammo, 60. Critical hit chance, 5%. Weak spot damage bonus, 100%. Okay. Stagger modifier, 10%. There's a stagger modifier. That's also something that didn't exist in the previous game. You just had to deduce from testing what it felt like depending on what weapon you were using. There's a mutator and there's also a modification thing. Okay, so mutator is something that the Paxul deck merchant was selling me earlier as well. And the rusty lever action seems like any class can use this as a starting weapon if you feel like it. How much worse is it than our actual starting weapon? Surprisingly not that much worse, unless the damage on this does not calculate like the... Like if it's the damage of each pellet does 60, then this will do significantly more damage than this does, even on a weak spot hit. Let's see here. Critical hit chance 5%, weak spot damage 95. You can weak spot damage with a fucking melee weapon? That also wasn't a thing in the previous game, I don't think. Silverback model 500 accuracy. Oh yeah, there's accuracy rating also. I mean, that kind of you have to deduce yourself. It's like halfway here. What is on this weapon? Not actually that high up either. This might be the reason as to why I fucking had trouble, like when I had the crosshair on the enemy's head, and I was saying like, why am I not getting, you know, like, weak point hit on the head? Because I was saying like how the head hitbox was weird. Is this game really like... Is it nerfing the head hitbox because of the class of the weapon you're using? Instead of like only the range of the weapon you are using? And how precise you can actually move the reticle on the enemy's head? Because that is infuriating if that's the case. I'm not a fan of that one bit. Like just because you have a class of a weapon that does not have that good like range, for example, or accuracy rating, that straight up just means that you cannot hit heads as easily or weak points, because the game decided that that was going to be the case regardless of how well you are actually mechanically aiming with the reticle. That is not a very fun change, I must say. The accuracy on this weapon is good though. Ideal range 20, fall off range 60. What is the fall off range on this? 24. So the ideal range and the fall off range don't have anything to do with the accuracy of the weapon. The accuracy of the weapon is independent on the ideal range and the fall off range. Crap. Critical hit chance 5%. It's like 5% on all of these, yeah? Yeah, pretty much. At least for now. Weak spot damage bonus 105. Okay, so it's the lowest on melee, it's the highest on this thing. Stagger modifier is surprisingly high on that. What is the stagger modifier on this thing? Wait, you're telling me the stagger modifier is lower on... This looks like a drum magazine shotgun, kind of. Maybe. Actually, 3.5 shots per second. No, this is not a shotgun, this is something else. No, wait, no, it says it's a shotgun. What? 3.5 rounds per second shotgun. How the fuck is that gonna work? That's a striker. Very fast striker at that. You to use your primary skill. Right, let's use this as a demo. This goes pretty far range from my guess. I mean, pretty much, yeah. I have 2 charges of it. Okay. Oh, they put target dummies in here. Good. DPS total. DPS calculator too, huh? That's amazing, actually. And you have infinite ammo when you step in here. Can I interact with the calculator and then it stops or something? No, you have to like walk out. My DPS is the same from this distance with that fucking drum action shotgun and with that pistol. That makes no sense. The pistol should be better at that range already, yeah? 10 meter ideal range. I mean, no, that's like within 10 meters, I guess. The spread on this is not that bad. You see that? Huh. Also, do I just load infinite ammo when I go? If I'm missing ammo and I walk into one of these booths, I get max ammo? Yeah, it fully reloads my, like, all of my ammo. Okay. Understandable. Right, let's talk to the despicable one first. Yeah, she's a lot older here too, because, you know, it's actually been, like, pretty much 20 years from the previous game.
God and my mother. Did Bo send you
Please
over
tell
here,
me you
or
have
did
more
stumble
dialogue
your
than in the
way
previous
over here
game
yourself?
when you recited the same exact and frustrating dialogue over and over again when you were AFK in here and I was upgrading my weapons every fucking time.
Bingo. I'm McCabe. I like to keep to myself and my work. My work happens to be tinkering and modding weapons. And that's already more information than I like giving out. Capiche? Shit. You're serious, aren't you? Alright, so what the hell is this journey? I swear, if that boy weren't so goddamn right all the time, he and I'd be having words. Percussive ones. Fine. Well, the only reason anyone bothers me is because I'm good with a hammer. So either I can modify your weapons, or we can find a more creative use for it. Tell you what. I
He
heard you picked
fucking
up something
threatened us with
strange
the
on your
same
little
fucking
jaunt
dumb
earlier.
hammer
Maybe I
joke in
could
the
do
previous game
something
too.
with it.
Of course. Oh, we have to fucking look at her face when we are upgrading. God damn it, why did they have to do this? 'Cause I have to fucking look at her face when we are upgrading. God damn it, why did they have to do this? 'Cause I have to fucking look at her face when we are upgrading. God damn it, why did they have to do this? 'Cause I have to fucking look at her face when we are upgrading. God damn it, why did they have to do this? 'Cause I have to fucking look at her face when we are upgrading. God damn it, why did they have to do this? 'Cause I have to fucking look at her face when we are upgrading. God damn it, why did they have to do this? 'Cause I have to fucking look at her face when we are upgrading. God damn it, why did they have to do this? 'Cause I have to fucking look at her face when we are upgrading. God damn it, why did they have to do this? 'Cause I have to fucking look at her face when we are upgrading. God damn it, why did they have to do this? 'Cause I have to fucking look at her face when we are upgrading. God damn it, why did they have to do this? Merchants buy and sell items for scrap. Merchants in War 13 sell a variety of items including weapons, armor, consumables, and even stew. Other merchants can be found within the game, all selling a number of unique items, yes. And we have to look at her mug when we are in here. Well, at least she's not yapping all the time while we are in here, at least so far. That's good. NPCs throughout the world and War 13 can be used to craft new items, weapon mods, boss weapons, armor, etc. Each crafting recipe has a number of required materials plus scrap, which are required to craft them. Yep. Can't sell anything because I don't have anything. So... how much scrap do I have? Oh, 50. Oh yeah, the UI elements, I forgot. This game likes to use the right side of the UI more than the left side, which is why I have the webcam usually on the left so far. Seems to be maybe the play in this game also as well. Right, healing shot. Weapon. There actually was... oh wait, no, there was the starting class weapon shots in the first... or weapon mods in the first game too. Launches a payload that explodes on contact with allies, healing 35% of their max health. When no ally is struck, payload lays dormant until an ally gets close. Dormant payload lasts 30 seconds, slowly losing healing potency over time. Okay. Concussive shot fires a focused blast of air through all targets within 8 meters, dealing 150 damage and 4x what the fuck does that mean? 4x impact. Oh, I mean, does it just mean that it does 4 times 150 damage if it actually like... wait, how does that work? Because it goes through all targets. Wait, so the first target that it goes through takes 4 times the damage, and the rest of the targets take 150 damage. Or the first zone that it collides with, every single enemy around the immediate AoE that gets hit by this takes the 4x damage, and the subsequent enemies after that take just 180 damage. Is that how it is? Yes, we would have to test it. Fires a canister that releases caltrops over an area of 6 meters. Caltrops apply slow and bleeding to enemies, dealing 400 bleed damage over 10 seconds. Last 10 seconds. So these are traps that slow and bleed. Strong. Hot shot. Imbues ammunition with fire and increases range damage by... ah, that's a favorite from the previous game. Getting this immediately when possible. Imbues ammunition with fire damage and increases range damage by 15% for 20 seconds. Shots also apply burning, dealing 200 fire... ah, they nerfed it? Of course they nerfed it. Why would they not? Yeah, it used to be 400 fire damage over 10 seconds, I think. Or was it even 600? Oh my god. You know how in the previous game I was actually glad? How the game wouldn't force you to choose what you use the boss material for when it came to like crafting a weapon or mod. We have 4 different things we can use the fucking root gungi, I think we got from the tutorial boss earlier. Healing shot. Wait. These are literally just... so I'm crafting one of these with it? Dude, I don't know what the fuck. I'm just gonna take this because I know that that is good. I know for sure that that is good.
There. That ought to help with whatever journey he saw you on. Just tell Wally to be more specific next time, yeah? So we're done here, right? Or do I need the hammer again? Let me save you some time so you don't keep nattering on. We used to live in that building over there. Then a stranger came. We called them the Wanderer. You might have noticed everyone gets a handle here. Anyway, they show up and stop the route. Now, we live in these buildings here. That clear it up for you? And me? I keep it real simple. Less to worry about that way.
She used to have the same kind of metallic thing also in her workshop in the previous game that she was all the time tinkering with. They really put that here as well.
Look, it's not personal. I just don't like being distracted. I get into a zone, you know? Pisses me off when people come by and interrupt my me time. But I'll tell you what. You're clearly not the average stray that shows up here. So I'll make you a deal. You find anything interesting out there, bring it back to me and I'll see if I can use it to mod your weapons.
She has grown
okay?
her mannerisms from the previous game. It only took 20 years.
I am already regretting all of this.
Right, so the weapon one. How does... Oh, it automatically equipped it. How do I specifically equip it? Do I have to like... Do I have to like... So that's what we have to do, yeah? And after simply just unequip it. Okay. I think for now I'm just gonna have it on the shotgun. I think it makes the most sense on this weapon, yeah.
Oh, friend. Glad to see you're all right. What can I do for you? Riggs, and no worries. There was a time when helping each other survive was all we had left. Around here, we don't forget those days if we can help it. Your friend's gonna be all right, by the way. I've seen weaker pull out of worse. What were you doing out there? If you don't mind me asking. Really? What'd you hear exactly? Well, you found it. That's what these folks were for me, anyway. Couple times over. They'll do for you too, if you've got the hands and heart to join them. Given how you've been watching over the little scuffler in the medbay there. I'd say you'll feel right at home. I don't suppose he was more particular about why. Right. Well, I've got a pretty focused skill set. I reckon I know what he means. Come to me if you ever need to upgrade your equipment.
Upgrading... Oh wait, I read this already when I was talking to Paxultek. Right, now explain the downgrading. Riggs will gladly dismantle any upgraded items, returning some of the materials, not all. Dang. Used to upgrade the item and half of the scrap. Okay, so it's not like entirely just a freebie of just test something. It's, you know, it doesn't feel as shit when you make a mistake, I guess, and want to test something else. Where did I get iron? Right, so I think for, like, immediately right now, because of how this game works, before we go anywhere else in this game, I think we want to upgrade... The pistols were some weapons that we also got always significantly less than the normal long weapons. So maybe upgrading the pistol might even be smarter here. But this weapon does not seem bad. Like, this starting weapon seems very solid. Now I would be able to downgrade it as well. It gives 3 iron and 100 scrap back. And it costs 1. I used 4 iron and 200 scrap to upgrade. So I'm losing 1 iron, I'm losing half the scrap if I want to downgrade it.
You know where to
What a
find
shit
me.
deal. But it's something. That's where he sleeps. Lovely.